Hi all. Now let's discuss about parameters in SSIS 2012. So what are all the parameters and how many types of parameters and how to use the parameters in SSIS packages and tasks. Firstly, there are two type of parameters. So package parameters and project parameters. So these are the two type of parameters are there in the SSIS 2012 onwards. So we don't have a parameters concept in SQL Server or SSIS 2008 or 2 till. So the package parameters are scoped at the package level and the project parameters are scoped at the SSIS project level. Means once the parameter is defined at the project level, then it can be used in any package in the entire SSIS project. And so parameter does not contain expression property like variables. Now the difference between variables and parameters is, so variables used to have an expression property. It means that variable value is going to change during the runtime, but parameter value does not change during the runtime. So that is the first difference. Second difference is, so the maximum scope of the variable is a package. I cannot define a variable at the project, but I can define a parameter at the project level as well as package level. So but the variable can be defined at the task level, container level, max at the package level. I cannot define variable at the project level. So that is the difference between variables and parameters. Now, so how to work with parameters in SSIS? So this is a new concept, 2012 SSIS onwards. So I am just showing you a sample parameter declaration screen. So while declaring the parameter, you need to provide some details minimum: name, data type, value, is it sensitive or not, required or not, and some description. It's a detailed note about that particular parameter. The first one is name. So name is nothing but a name of the parameter, and it is a case sensitive, very important. It is a case sensitive. So now let's go for a sample scenario. So we can create, so amount parameter with caps A and amount parameter with small a. So these two parameters are accepted by SSIS 2012 because of case sensitive. Now these two are different parameters as per the SSIS perspective. Okay, so while creating the parameters, be careful. This is the case sensitive. If you put small a in one parameter, caps in different parameter, even though the name meaning is same English perspective, but SSIS treats as a two different parameters. Please be careful while giving the names. It is a case sensitive. Next one is a data type. So data type, obviously yes, like every time when we create a new variable or new parameter, we need to provide the data type of the value. As it can be integer, as it can be string or boolean or bit. Okay, you just need to specify. That is a drop down. Next, value. So you need to specify some value here. Okay, default value you can specify here. Okay, and the interesting part here is, so you can provide different configuration during the development itself, different configurations during the development itself, and specify the value. Let us say when you are working with the development environment, value is 1. So testing environment value is 2. Like some production environment value is 3. So that's what you specify during the development. So when you want to execute in the test environment, you can simply change the environment in the top, and it automatically takes the value from the testing environment. So it easily, during the development itself, you can easily switch between the different configurations or different environments. Next one is, fourth property is a sensitive property. So sensitive property is indicates that either parameter is sensitive or not. Okay, so when it is true is nothing but, so value column is going to represent with a star marks. When sensitive specifies as a true, then value is going to be all as star mark. It indicates a kind of password. So when you say it is false, a value column does not change. It, but whatever the value you give, it automatically comments it into the value as end user perspective. So let us say when you specify value as 1, so and make sensitive as a true, then value is going to show you as a star marks. Sensitive is false, then you will get the same one in the value field. Next, requirement required. required. Fifth property is required. So it is related to the deployment. It is related to the deployment. So if it is set to false, if the required value is set to false, then while during the deployment, so the same declared value is going to deploy into your deployment environment. So when you say required is true, so it go and sit with a null value. So later after the deployment or during the deployment, you need to provide the value of the particular parameter. So this is also one of the very important property for the parameter. Next one is description. So it is optional parameter for us. Okay, so and it is a kind of detailed information about the purpose of the parameter, or if you want to write some note about this particular parameter, you can put that statements in the descriptions. So this is how we need to declare a parameter. So this is a screen, this is a place where we will declare the parameter with these property values. So let me show you how to use these parameters practically in SSIS. I'll show you a kind of demo. Let's go to the SSDT SQL Server Data Tools 2012. Let's declare. I want to show you package level parameters and project level parameters. Firstly, I just created two packages with a name of parameter 1 and parameter 2. It is empty packages. Okay, so next, so I'll show you project parameters. This is a place where the project parameters are going to store. Okay, and the project level parameters are going to store inside the package. Inside the package you have a tab with the name of parameters. For each and every package in SSIS 2012 used to have a tab with the name of parameters. This is a place where we define package level parameters. The definition and how we declare the parameters is same across either package or project level. Okay, first let me declare so one project level parameter under project.params. Let's double click it. Once you double click it, you will get this window. The same whatever I showed you: name, data type, value, sensitive, required, and description. Okay. So how to add a new parameter? In the left top corner, you have a add parameter. Once you hover it, it will show you that message. Let me click on it. So I'm going to show you param connection string. Let me give any name, str. Okay, I want to put it as a string, and value I'll put some value. Wait for it. I'll fill that value later. Okay, and sensitive is false by default, required is false, description is optional. Let's put for a minute. Now let me go to the parameter 1 package. Okay, so let me take the execute SQL task. Okay, now so I want to configure this execute SQL task. So we how to configure execute SQL task? So we have to configure with a connection string. Okay, so let me double click on it. Okay, so here you need to provide a connection. So I don't have any existing connections. Let me click on new connection. So once I click on new connection, if you already have some of the connections here, it automatically comes in the left side box, but I don't have any connection, and this is the first time I'm creating a connection. Click on new. Okay, and server name. So you can give a IP address, or if you know the server name, you can give it. So my server name is /SQL 2012. If your server name is only localhost, you can put only dot. That's fine. I'm going with a Windows authentication. So if you want to go with a SQL authentication, just select it and provide username and password and save my password. So I will go with a Windows authentication, and let me select one database. So let me click on test connection. Is it a correct connection string or not? Let me click on test connection. A test connection succeeded. Click on OK and click on OK. So this is the connection string which is specified here. I'll put the statement later. Let's wait for a moment. Let me click on OK. Okay, but still it is showing cross mark because I did not specify a statement. So now let me show you the properties of it. So here if you go to the properties, so here you can see the connection string again here. What are all the values specified there? You will get those connection string. See, when I click on this browse button, I will be getting this. Okay. So let me copy this connection string. Okay. And I will paste in the project parameters here. I'm going to paste here. If you're already aware of the connection string with the spellings, you can directly type here. Otherwise, you can copy. That is a shortcut or easiest way. Okay, so now let me apply sensitive here. So by default is false. Let me apply true. If I apply true, now you can see all the values are in star level. Okay, so I'm keeping as a false for time being, either true or false. It does not make any difference for my example. Okay, so next, let me go to the parameter one only. Yeah, so now, so till now I created one project level parameter. Okay, so now let me create package level parameter as well. So where you have to create a package level parameter, package level parameters have to create in the package only. So you will be having one tab with the name of parameters. Go to the tab, click on again same add parameter. So I'm going to make it as a some player id sample, player id integer. I'm going to put value as some 9. Okay, I'm going to put now value as 9, and I can make it as a true or false. When I make it as true, it is coming as a star marks like a password. Let me make it as false. Let's save it. Okay, now, so let me go to control flow. Let's double click on execute SQL task. Here I am planning to put a statement here. So what is the statement I am planning to put? So I want to delete from tbl underscore players. I want to delete some specified rows where player id equal to question mark. Now why I am putting question mark is I am planning to link my execute SQL task and parameter. Okay, I want to show you all together. So how to link? So first, as a first step, you need to specify as a question mark. Then as a second step, go to parameter mapping, click on add. So here you will be getting what are all the parameters and what are all the variables are there. Now if you see here, let me make it big. Yeah, if you see here, you can see package parameter and project parameter. So let me click on package one, and long type data type is long, and the parameter is 0 and 0. Okay, so this is what now I'm done with this package development. Okay, so let me go with a similar kind of design in the package 2 parameter 2. Okay, so let me create one parameter in the package 2 parameter 2 package. Okay, so let me put it as a player id 1. Okay, make it as some 11. In the earlier package I made it as 9, now it is 11. So I can go with the sense to true or false just to show you. Yeah, now let me just false, either is fine, it does not make any difference to execute. Let me go here. So do the same, drag and drop the execute SQL task. Okay, now let's double click on it. Now create a SQL connection with a different database. So now I'm tell you, I have a TBL players in the sample database, but I am trying to query from the different database. Let me click on new. The similar way, I'll tell you why that later. SQL 2012 database name is, so make it as a C sharp. So in the C sharp database, I don't have a TBL players. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now let me put the same, delete from TBL underscore players where player id equal to question mark. In the similar way, go to parameters, click on add, take the player id one. See, if you see here, I don't have a other package parameter. I have only player id one, but in the earlier package parameter name is player id. Okay, player id. So parameter 0 and 0. Now so now the common question between us is, so I have a TBL players table in the sample database, but I made it as a C sharp here. So will that work? No. But so in this example, what I am trying to say is I am trying to use the project level parameters in the two packages. So here I already declared a project level parameter with the name of param.constr. So how to use this in the package parameter 2 package and parameter 1 package? How to use is select the connection manager, right click, click on parameterize, right click on parameterize. So once you click on parameterize, it's a very and easy and straightforward one. So it will show you multiple options. If you're planning to create a connection parameter now, you can create a new parameter in the window itself, Otherwise you can use existing parameter. So once I click on use an existing parameter, here I will be getting two parameters. One is the package level, one more is the project level. Let's select the project level one, click on OK. Now my C# connection string is also using sample DB because of this configuration. Now let me go to the parameter one package, repeat the same steps, right click, parameterize, use existing parameter. Here now you can see the difference. Earlier I have a player ID one, now I have a player ID and param connection string. Select it, click on OK. Now if you recollect it, so I have created one package level parameter and I use this project level parameter in both the packages. So through parameterized connection string, as a second step I create package level parameters and I use in the execute SQL task. Okay, now so before going to run, let me go to physically to the table and show you what are the data is there. If you see here, I have 15 rows in my database table and 9th row is there and 11th row is there. Now let me run one by one package. Okay, so let me run this. So to run this package you can click on F5 functional key, or you can click on this. Now it got succeeded. Okay, now let's go to the parameter 2 package. Let's run this. It got succeeded. Now let's go and observe physically in the output. So earlier it is 15 rows and 9th and 11 is there. Now let me run F5. Here I have 13 rows, 2 rows are removed and 9th and 11th row is not there. So this is how we declare the parameters, and this is how we link the parameters with the SSIS task. Thank you. If you like our videos, share it with all your friends and subscribe to Training to SQL. Thank you.